Handheld gaming isn't new, but what is new is how we game with our handhelds, and consequently, why in 2023, handhelds are making a bit of a return. What is up, guys? My name is Tyler, and today we're looking at the Logitech G Cloud, a handheld gaming system that runs all your favorite games right from the cloud. Now, before we dive into this, Logitech did send me the G Cloud to review, but as always, no money changed hands, and Logitech did not get to view this video before it was uploaded. So what is the G Cloud? Well, according to Logitech, and I quote, "It puts advanced graphics and libraries of blockbuster games from the cloud in your hands, freeing you to play what you want in more places." And while I would say that's mostly true, it's the last part that has me a little confused, because the G Cloud requires a cloud subscription service like NVIDIA GeForce Now or Xbox Game Pass in order to get those advanced graphics and libraries. Otherwise, you'll be stuck with Android games because the G Cloud comes running Android. Now, the nice thing is that if you don't have any paid cloud services, you can still use Steam Link. It's actually preloaded on the G Cloud. Well, not as streamlined as the others, at least you can run your Steam games when you're not at your computer. But okay, back to what I was saying about the whole play what you want in more places. Because the G Cloud requires an internet connection, a strong one at that, I would argue you in fact can't play what you want in more places, but instead less places. Obviously that would be no good for marketing, but I mean, come on. A cloud-powered handheld is going to be useless without a strong internet connection, and in the case of the Steam Link, you'll have to make sure your PC is up and running while you're gone in order to actually play anything. Kind of a bummer. But why the hate? Well, while the G Cloud is substantially smaller than the Steam Deck, it simply can't play games local on the unit itself, and to me, that's the whole selling point of a handheld. Cloud gaming is cool and can be convenient, say if you want to sit on your couch or lay on your bed while streaming your games from your PC, or a cloud service for that matter, but it's instead those moments when you're not able to connect to the internet, say on an airplane, or on a camping trip, or a long road trip, or even at your grandma's house who hasn't upgraded their internet, well, ever. It's those places I want to play games, because let's be real, anywhere I have a strong internet connection, I'm likely doing something else, or I'm at home to begin with, playing on my PC. Now, this is strictly my experience, but I do travel a lot, and not once have I felt inclined to bring the G Cloud over either the Steam Deck or the Nintendo Switch for exactly the reasons I listed above. Even though the G Cloud is very packable and compact, I just look at it and think, well, this is basically a smartphone with a controller add-on like a Razer Kishi, but it's permanent, and by itself, it's just a worse pixel experience. So as much as I think it's cool, I just don't think it'll ever compete with the likes of true handheld systems from Ayaneo, Steam, or Nintendo, or even Asus now. Even Logitech's own site refers to these other places as the bedroom, bathroom, or backyard, and add in the with Wi-Fi part in case you forgot the G Cloud isn't an authentic handheld. But alright, enough bashing. What does the G Cloud do well? Well, it's got a nice design. No, really, I like the look and feel of the G Cloud. I don't know why, I just really like white handhelds. Just feels super clean and fresh, and the highlighter yellow accents are super sleek, even though they would have gotten extra brownie points if they were orange. The body is made of plastic, but a nice solid texture plastic that doesn't feel cheap. The palm rests are a bit shallow, but they're textured and are way more ergonomic than the Switch, but not quite as ergonomic as the Steam Deck. A happy medium in my opinion. The face buttons have a nice travel and spring back action that is reminiscent of an Xbox controller, which I guess I should add that the layout is standard ABXY. The D-pad feels solid as well. Not quite as nice as the Steam Deck, but good travel overall, and is positioned again like the Xbox layout. The sticks are a bit of a low point for me, at least when compared to the Steam Deck, because they just feel short. Maybe that's a preference thing, but I prefer a bit more travel on my sticks, but I can see why shorter sticks make sense here. Regardless, they still perform just fine, and no, they're not Hall effect sticks. The grip on top is like that of a PS3 or maybe a PS4 if you remember those. The shoulder buttons have a very springy feel to them, unlike most controllers, but work plenty fine. The triggers have the same issue to me as the sticks. They're just a little short. Maybe it's because I have pretty big fingers, but I wish the triggers could have been longer, but at that rate, I guess you'd begin losing the portability, which is my biggest gripe with the Steam Deck, so I guess in favor of portability, I'll take the shorter triggers even though the G Cloud isn't really portable. As for the display, you're getting a pretty standard Full HD 1080p display that's IPS LCD, which, might I add, is a pretty nice feature. It only gets 450 nits of brightness and is only 60 Hz, but for a handheld gaming device, I can't be too tough on it. It's 7 inches diagonally, and of course, is a touchscreen in case for some reason you want to use this as an Android tablet or a massive phone. Kidding. The display looks good enough. I compared it to my Steam Deck, and I think I do prefer the 1080p of the G Cloud, even though strangely I feel like I prefer the finish of the glass on the Steam Deck. it's complicated. All in all, the display is good. Not 120 Hz, but at the time of writing this, only the ROG Ally has a 120 Hz display, so I'll consider it a pass. Moving on to some of the other little things here, you've got two down-firing speakers that are, as you would expect, tinny and generally unpleasant. Good news is there's a 3.5mm headphone jack should you want to plug in your sick Mandalorian A30s or just use Bluetooth like everyone else. There's a single USB port on the bottom for charging, and that's about it. The power switch is up top and is spring-loaded, which isn't my favorite, but worth mentioning since I haven't seen one like that in quite a while. On the back of the unit, there's nothing. No intake, no exhaust, just a big Logitech G logo. I should mention that the reason there's no vents is because the G Cloud runs on a Qualcomm Snapdragon 720G, which is a mobile octa-core chip. It's nothing new or crazy and can be found in other smartphones and tablets, but worth mentioning as again, this is the reason the G Cloud can't run AAA games on its own. However, the 720G is more tuned for gaming, so I guess if you're looking to play the plethora of Google Store games, or if you're just a mobile gamer, you'll be in good shape. However, all the mobile gamers I know only use touchscreen, and in a competitive scene, they can't even use a controller, so I would imagine a device like this would not be appealing to them over just carrying a second phone. In terms of battery, you get a solid 23.1 watt hours, which Logitech claims will get you about 12-ish hours of normal playing conditions, which I assume would be at 50% brightness, which is noticeably better than the Steam Deck, assuming you have Wi-Fi for that whole time. Speaking of Wi-Fi, the G Cloud can handle both 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz and supports 2x2 MIMO, which, if you didn't know, just means multiple input, multiple output. It also is worth mentioning that the G Cloud does have a micro SD slot. Why? I don't know, but it does, so there you go. I mean, I guess if you really want to use this as an everyday tablet, I suppose you could, but there's no camera or anything, so I'm not sure what you'd be storing on that SD card unless you're just downloading tons of games from the App Store, which if you are, don't buy a G Cloud. Get a regular Android tablet. Which brings us to price. The G Cloud comes in at $350. Logitech shows it as only $300 now on sale, but expect that price to drop as more handhelds hit the market that are not cloud only. So to summarize the G Cloud, in my opinion, it's Logitech's attempt to stay relevant in a space most of their competitors aren't in. Razer is probably the only competitor I can think of that is in direct competition with Logitech, who also have delved into handhelds. That being said, I think the G Cloud is more of a, look what we can do, rather than a, hey, we made something to solve an actual problem. It looks cool, it works, mostly, but it's not doing anything different than what the NVIDIA Shield tablet did years ago. If you know, you know. The lack of real computing hardware makes the G Cloud fall flat, in my opinion. It'll never hold up to the Steam Deck because it just isn't the same kind of product. So when you compare it to itself and the very few cloud-only handheld devices, it's just fine. But fine shouldn't cost $300+ in my opinion. For almost that same price, you could get a brand new Nintendo Switch OLED and have way more fun and truly play your games anywhere. And for a little bit more, you can get a Steam Deck and have access to your whole Steam library. You may not be able to play all of them, but it's sure of a lot more than the G Cloud can. It's kind of fitting because, like a cloud, the G Cloud appears bigger than it really is. It's a shallow approach to handheld gaming in my opinion and more of a marketing ploy than anything else. I say save your money and wait for the ROG Ally or buy a Steam Deck or even an Ayaneo if you can afford it. The G Cloud was a miss in my opinion, but a neat attempt from a company known more for their keyboards and mice than computer hardware. That being said, I doubt we see a follow-up to the G Cloud unless they put real hardware inside it and make a version similar to the other handhelds in the market. But for now, that's going to do it for the G Cloud. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, and as always, make sure to subscribe to see more content like this. You can also follow me on Twitter and Twitch to stay up to date on all things 24 Concept. But until then, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.